Here. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out this afternoon, by the way. I got 2,200 people in here. Y'all are great. Got 4 color friends up next. Four, 9, 13. No copies of. Okay, let me. Past Jeff built this deck around the start of the season, and I think present Jeff has some opinions on the cards in it that I would like to adjust some things. Angrath Rampage is a card that I thought would be reasonable at the start of the season, that I really have not been happy with. Scorn's been very reasonable. I feel like Little Tef probably belongs in here somewhere. All right. Yeah, we're playing Solar Blaze as opposed to Kaya's Wrath because black, white on 4 is prohibitive. This deck's mana base is what we could probably classify as ambitious. Although maybe, I'm looking at this. Maybe we're just not supposed to play. Can I make Kaya's Wrath work in here? Probably not. I could probably make Ritualist Soot work, though. Or Cleansing Nova. And Nova might be a stretch. Let's try this to start and see how it goes. We might revisit. You need Parrot Splash Paradise Druid for fixing. One, 10, 11. So I would like to point out something that someone has said in chat and talk about why I think it's incorrect, and I think it's something that a lot of people do very frequently. So someone said, Cry seems hard to cast. And one of the things people incorrectly do is they look at a deck and they think the number of colors you're playing indicates how easy or hard it is to cast a spell. And that's not true. What indicates how easy or hard it is to cast a given spell is how many colors of that casting cost you have in your mana base. So this mana base has 16 black in it, plus 4 copies of Chromatic Lantern. So getting black with some consistency is not difficult in this deck. And again, that's the way you want to think about it. You don't want to think about it in terms of my deck is 4 colors, so I can't play a black spell. You want to think about it in terms of just the mathematics of it. You want to think about it in terms of how many mana sources do I have, and do my mana sources indicate that I can play these spells consistently? Do I want Oath of Kaya? That's probably not a bad idea. This was one of the first decks I built earlier in the season, and we've played since then. I've gained insight into things I like and things I don't like. I think Baby Teth is better than Ben Kaya. Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna swap those. Alright, that's it. Let's play some games. So I forget exactly what the build around submission was. I think it was Nicol, Bolas, Super Friends with 4 colors. I think. I know they all start to blur after a while. So the problem with playing Interplanar Beacon is that if you look at this deck, there are a lot of different non-Planeswalker spells in it. So Beacon is nice for helping cast our Planeswalkers, but it explicitly hurts casting all non-Planeswalker spells. And maybe Beacon's good. Beacon has been good in other decks that I've played, but I'm not 100% certain that it's something I'm interested in doing.
Let's try this.
Oh, Reclamation. Reclamation. Do 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 ba bum ba bum. From Monday morning, ET War. That's been up there all day. That got sorted out yesterday. All right. I have Mortify to cover this, so I probably just want to take their Teferi away. This does give them a window to go Reclamation into Chemist's Insight, but I think that's fine. So we can Mortify plus negate on their turn and then untap and play Ugin. It does all Blur War. They already have a land. Okay, so they're just doing this because they think they're going to get to untap, which they are not. Ooh. I think this is better than Ugin, right? Because it takes a card away from them.
The multiverse will bend to my will. No! You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
God, the voice lines on this card are so great. That's incredibly rude. I really wish I would have drawn a land there so I could Nick plus Counterspell. They have a Dovin's Veto. Alright, they get to flip search here. Oh, you know what? I should probably prioritize using this to make mana. Because that way they can't bounce it and cut me off of a counterspell. Limping Gamer, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Let's just make sure this one doesn't resolve. Dragon God plus Oath of Teferi is going to chew through what they have very quickly while providing us with a lot of cards. And I get to hold a negate up next turn too. No, I don't want to blink Nick with Oath.
My revenge will be painful. I outsmarted you eons ago.
Because if this doesn't return it to the beginning of the end step, and I wanna activate this dude again. The Azcantaland is legendary.
Schemes are never ending.
So, Nicol Bolas ultimate's next turn, so that's cool. I think Kaya's worth bringing in here. I keep forgetting they play Tamiyo now. So Kaya's better against them than she was before. I didn't like boarding in all the Kayas when they just had Search for Azcanta, but the fact that she cuts off Tamiyo from recovering stuff is worthwhile. We've not comboed Scholar. There's only one Jace cutting Castaway in here. The potential of the combo is like kind of an afterthought as opposed to the goal. Double Azcanta, negate growth spiral. I'm just gonna take their counter spell. Try and dig to some lands here. They left a card on top, so I assume that means they're making a land drop here. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Of course, you drew a counter spell. Ooh, you didn't. That's good for me. And then I have a stroke to counter their play.
Skip to the good part.
All right, we might be doing it here, chat. If they play a Reclamation, we'll let it resolve and then Despark it. If they play a Planeswalker, we'll Disdainful Stroke them. And then next turn we get to play the Dragon God and get that going. Phil Rickner, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. You're having a fantastic start to your main. Well, I'll be. That's incredibly rude.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Dr. Jones coming in for the 7th month. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. God, we just lost to this card. That's brutal. This if this Disdainful Stroke had just been any other counterspell like a negate or a Dovin, we'd have been good there. Mir, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just plus this and like hope I get another turn. Like tucking either of these doesn't really do anything, and like hitting my line drops kind of does. So before anybody asks why I'm not responding to the stuff on their turn, this card says I can't. So locks us out of playing instants at instant speed.
Here we go.
All right, do they have a land? If they have a land, they can start taking turns. The 7th land tier is really good. It means I get to Thought Erasure plus play Nick this turn. What would I play in Richmond this weekend? I would play Blue-Green Nexus. Yep. Yeah, I think the white cards in the Nexus deck are people trying to break the mirror. Little Teferi is really good in the mirror. Oh. Oh. I forgot he copies the abilities of these other things. I think I just want to destroy this, though.
Only a matter of time.
Has consequence.
Hold that thought.
And I think I just hold up Stroke / Despark here. If I get another turn, and that's kind of a big if. If I get another turn, we should be able to win the game. All right, if this is a counter spell, we're dead. We also might just be dead regardless because they have another Wilderness Reclamation. So they have 17 mana here. I just need another turn. We're dead. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I think it makes a lot of sense why they chose the Linkin Park cover for the War of the Spark intro, because the in the end is like such a fantastic undertone to such a fantastic undertone to like playing against Wilderness Reclamation decks. I said if we got another turn, we could win. We weren't going to get another turn. was the if. The if was if we get a turn. We didn't. Yeah, I agree, Bert. I think if we get to a point where if Wilderness Reclamation doesn't get banned, I think it's gonna attrition a lot of people out of playing Standard. I'm worried. I mean, I guess if my Standard numbers tank, we can do more Moto. But like, I am like honestly a little bit worried about like numbers here moving forward because of that. I really don't find playing best of one Magic satisfying, so I don't really want to do that. I think I want to lead on Teferi here. Oh, I have to lead on Teferi because I actually don't have a third black. It's a good call. Kandaris, thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's true. It could just be that people just play best of one. And I guess I don't really care about my rank enough that we could just concede those matches. It's also an option. I think I greatly prefer Tyrant Scorn. I was never really super content with the various two mana removal spells that Black had to offer in this format. And I really feel like Scorn's doing a good job of like having a good amount of flexibility on it. Zurin, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it could just be too that like rather than stopping playing, I just like don't accept non-aggro decks. Like that could be a real thing. Because like aggro decks are good against Nexus and Reclamation. No. So it's really weird to me how many people seem to have just forgotten that Nexus of Fate was legal for a really long time, and it was never more than a fringe card while it was legal. Up until Reclamation existed.
My intellect is without limit.
I think I held this land in my hand because I didn't want to get carnaged and lose my Nicol Bolas here. Oh no, are they down to all good cards?
Conceivable. Witness a mote of my power.
Bedeck and Dark Bargain. I think I just want to go up twice on this.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
I've assembled my 2 5-mana cards together.
Eons ago.
Why did I dab? Because we're still sick. This makes any Planeswalker we draw extra good. They have like Lightning Strike or something like that. They can finish off Nicky B. If we get another turn with double Nick activation, I'd be very surprised if they could come back. That being said, if they kill Nick here, All right, double bird gives them things to sacrifice here.
Wipe your bloodline. My schemes are never ending. I will return one day. Let your weak minds crumble.
This isn't a fight you can win. Nothing.
We were really close to comboing there. Really close to comboing. Didn't matter. They were kinda spent. Alright, so they've got phoenixes and stuff. Despark sounds great. I don't really know what they're doing other than that. Probably some of this cheap removal is not amazing. Maybe Oath of Kaya buffers my life a little bit. I could see just regular Kaya being okay. Disdainful Stroke could be fine too. Give this a try. I need my foil Oath of Teferi to go higher. They're probably not going to go that high. Yeah, Kaya can eat birds out of the bin, which is good too, for sure. Yeah, they seemed like a mid-range deck, huh? They had like miscellaneous card draw, and they had, hey, Kalashot, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your month. Welcome, welcome. Pretty easy mulligan here. Our mana's not amazing. We don't really have any meaningful early plays. Alright, we Esper control. Perfect. Get my turn. Turn 4, Teferi on. T-Mask, thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. I think if you don't have Planeswalkers in your deck, Oath of Kaya is probably worse than Moment of Craving a lot of the time. But you have even just like 3 to 4 walkers, Oath is probably more than reasonable. Derosis, streaking on for the 9th month in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. T-Mask. Welcome back, bud. This is about to get like, I guess if they like bedevil this, I'm kind of okay with that.
I'm known by reverse.
Bye, Felicia. Had to subscribe to say good game. I totally found out when I saw I was playing it. Oh, were you the Reclamation player? Now, I could be greedy here and like Time Raveler, draw a card, like try to hit the land to mortify that, but I think that's a little bit greedy. What I got in there? Oh, this is sweet. So I can Oath, kill the Phoenix, and then Time Raveler the token.
I know my responsibility. Trust me, I have a plan.
Some people like playing linear combo decks, chat. It's okay if you don't. I know I don't always like playing them either.
Don't worry.
But there are people that genuinely like sitting there with a captive audience doing their thing. It's also just genuinely good, too.
Return to my meditation.
Complained last week that I was charged for a resub, but I didn't get a message, and now here I am. I should probably rely. To be fair, Davis, the Twitch system is super foobar. It definitely is a lack of A lack of consistency when those happen. Equinox. Enjoy your horsey. Thank you for the 24 months. Welcome back. Ooh. You have a brick. I do not need that. Get to tuck your bird in. It's possible that even though it wasn't resource efficient, I should have Thought Erasured before I played the Ugin to spot check for like a bedevil effect. I declined to attack with my 2/2 here because if my opponent drew Legion War Boss, I didn't want them to kill my Teferi. I'm like, the 2 damage isn't that important. Brutal.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
1 Nicol Bolas, please. Right, on time, Disdainful Stroke. At least, like, we're at 23, right? So this pigeon's not going to kill us for, like, 6 turns. It really is, Kella. It really is. Holding lands because of the Mind Rot effects. Yeah, that could potentially be reasonable. Especially now that I have 10 mana sources. I mean, Phoenix is a very good card, to be fair. It's a super resilient threat. It's one of the best things red mid-range / control decks have to have access to in the format. What do we got? What you got? What you got? What you got? All right, it's a sweet draw. I'm going to Despark on their upkeep because if they have a removal spell and want to kill their thing in response, I don't want them to get it back right away. That puts us solidly to the ahead portion of the game. Stop it.
Will resonate throughout the place.
All right, and we're done.
Witness a moment.
Sorry, hurry!
Yeah, the clock system on Arena definitely needs some work. How to get Elder spelled. God, we totally are, aren't we? The pride does cometh before the fall, chat. That is normally where the pride belongs. Moving on up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You know, part of me wonders if, like, we could just play, like, some amount of Nicol Bolas and just, like, an Esper Shell off of, like, 4 beacons and, like, 8 red lands. That's probably not unreasonable. Be, like, base black. Like, get away without playing the Chromatic Lanterns, basically. Basic Forest. Maybe Solar Blaze will do stuff. Solar Blaze does not kill Wild Growth Walker. Avricha, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate the quarter of a year. And Mage Cub, thanks for the 3/4. I think I'm going to take Find followed by Vivian. I don't have a clean answer to the Wild Growth Walker yet, though. Maybe I just take Walker followed by Find. I'm gonna ditch that looking for a red source. It's like, I have to take the Finds. If I take the Wild Growth Walker, like, they just find it back later. Maybe it is just the Vivian Reed. Although they could find and pick both these back up next turn. Yeah, I guess we just do that. And then they're going to play this next turn, and then Cry cleans that up. Binning this land might have been greedy. Digging for red might have been unnecessary there. Okay, let's run good and hit a land next turn and just go Teferi into Oath of Teferi. Man, I wonder if there's enough Planeswalkers in this format that Oath of Teferi isn't win more. For a long time, I was solidly on the this card's always win more side of the thoughts, but the more I watch this format play out, the more I think that, like, there might be enough reasonable walkers. That's just not the case anymore. We are obviously the more skillful player because we were lucky enough to draw our 5th land and they were not. Well, I mean, so, like, part of the reason why you don't see more Immortal Sun is the fact that, like, if everybody's playing Planeswalkers, people don't want to play the Immortal Sun because, well, they're also playing a bunch of Planeswalkers. Oath flips back map, which is sweet. That does sound sweet, actually. Huh. I guess if they hit the land, so I guess they could Ruinous and kill my Teferi here. But this gives me a window. This gives me a window to Thought Erasure their Vivian, which is kind of good for me. And like Solar Blaze kills Eternal and Chupacabra. So I think this actually works out okay for me. Yeah, I agree with Kendriss's assessment there. There's so many clean answers to walkers that it's better to play cards like Contempt, Despark, and Bedevil rather than locking yourself out of playing walkers. They are the Citadel deck. Yikes.
I can no longer stand by and watch. Oh, I've done the hero thing before. I'll protect you.
I don't think I really care about this. Sure, Flap. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Actually, this can, because I have Oath, I can do this next turn.
This might be a bad idea. Trust me, I have a plan.
This card is so bad. It's so unreasonably bad.
We'll find you, Vraska.
So in 25 matches of best of 3, how many do you think I had to just win game 1 and my opponent double conceded as Nexus? A third of them.
Decisions. This will come in handy.
7 and 25, yep. That's really telling about how people feel about that. I have $20 on this match. Don't let me down. Listen, this was a bad deck for me to be playing for you to gamble on, Gorks. Here we go. Did we just do it? Did we just do it? I think we just did it. We did it and did it and did it and did it again. So for people that aren't familiar, we now have unlimited Nicol Bolases.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit. Through the Biddy Scholar.
You eons ago. For all souls, God once again.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Man, and I had the indecency to complain about Jace. Man, Jace is like, listen, Hogland, I'm gonna teach you to complain about me. Jace is like, you will never cut me. I am impotent. Dabes Unite. Welcome back. Thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. Jace is kind of bad, but he teaches Bolas some very good tricks. That he does. That he does. Kenthrax, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Okay. Was pretty good. Pretty good. To the silence masses, if you want to hear what your name doesn't sound like, please subscribe now. Cast down could be good. Yeah, maybe those could come in. I don't know. They don't have that. I guess Wild Growth Walker is a combo piece for them, which could make it worth including. Joke's on you, opponent. I kept a handful of bad cards. Wild Dozer coming in hot with the sub gifties. Happy Wednesday to you. Thanks for keeping me around. Ooh, they missed a land drop. Trophy, yep.
I keep up the pace.
So wouldn't be too surprised to see this eat the trophy, but that's fine because it opens up Nikki B.
No, I am not making this up as I go. This is hardly my worst defeat.
Contempt, sure.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
I'd rather have this eat it than Teferi, right? I guess this takes 2 resources a turn away from them, though. I guess I'd rather have Teferi eat it. Teferi deals with Citadel, though.
Quickly.
Yeah, JK, sweet.
Only time will tell.
All right, how greedy was I? Not that greedy. Sha. Basic lands are great. Is this deck good? I don't know. Ooh, a land.
I will return. Let your weak minds crumble.
There might be merit
No, my excellent
to holding up Despark this turn, because this is the turn where they could go 6-land Citadel, which could pull them back into this game. It depends on how lucky they are with the Citadel. If they're lucky with the Citadel, they could kill us this turn. Opponent is not particularly lucky, apparently.
I will wipe your bloodline from it. My schemes are never ending.
Here we go.
Maybe I'm supposed to Solar Blaze there, actually. Feels like we're rapidly approaching can't lose territory. Yeah. Especially with the Oath of Teferi coming down next turn. Yeah, churn through what they have very quickly. They were going to take them off their 6th land with this. Man, this deck's really making me think we should just play Esper Splash Bolas. I'm glad we got to combo someone at least once today in this set too. Feels good, man. That's 3 Sulfur Falls. The old triple Sulfur Falls Mortify opener, a classic. Look at how perfect our mana is. Big, beautiful tracks of land. Congrats on your spoils, Gorks. I'm gonna bottom that since I have Solar Blaze. I've not seen the Bolas ult yet. Game is almost always done before you get to that point.
It's a matter of give and take.
So I feel like our land plus this Jace are like the jig is up sign. Maybe I'm supposed to Teferi down tick there. That was a mistake. I should Teferi down tick there. Although any untapped land here is the nuts.
Well played.
Well played.
If you show remorse, I'll do this. Might be a bad idea.
Can you really trust your eyes?
It has its own animation, but it's just a black wave. That's disappointing. I guess not spending a ton of time on Planeswalker alt animations is probably smart when they rarely happen.
Should have seen that coming.
I would like to title this game 26 Lands Later. It's gonna be my memoir.
You should fear those born of darkness.
What a mess I've made.
We tried to tell you you'll never cast Cry in this deck. That's true. That's true. Somewhere out there, someone is feeling incredibly vindicated right now. To set a bar that's low, Bolas' ult is much cooler than the Angrath one. Fair. Come on, go deeper. Go deeper. Alright, I've got 3 sweepers, friendo. Can I just get a land, please? We must dig deeper. I kind of like this for my opponent. Like, I have so many sweepers in my hand, they're just like taking the card type that's unique.
Time to drink.
They have main deck Dovin's Veto? Oh, that's a good line. Alright, and because they could play Scorn, I should Mortify during their upkeep. So it's small sequencing mistake on my part. But good use of there. Good use of my opponent made good use of the resources there for sure. Now the problem is that Sorin just like brings this thing back again and again and again. Any 5th land means I can go Chromatic into Cry, which is nice.
Sorry I'm late.
And I like this sequencing decision they've made too. They've elected to bring back Hero as opposed to Thief to start. And the reason why they're doing that is Thief's their better threat. But they know I have Cry as my last sweeper, so they know whichever card they play here, if I hit my sweeper, I'm going to exile it. Which I did not, so we're basically dead. We made a run of it considering how hard we bricked off there. Hey, Wraith Morin, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Let's bring in our cheap removal here. Raveler is probably hard to defend in this matchup, so let's trim him. Actually, Oath of Teferi is probably pretty good too. Sorin is super powerful. Sorin feels like the card a Johnny, adversary of Tyrants, always wanted to be in a lot of these decks. Like, the fact that Sorin can return, like, Thief and Sarah for the scales is like such a huge gain, as opposed to just being restricted to bringing back 2 drops. I assume we're losing that there, yeah. We have 2 removal spells, so taking the thing that's not like the others is generally the good play. Interesting if they left me with Contempt. They must just have mostly cheap threats, and they want me to expend all my mana. Or they could just have more discard spells and it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yay, punching. Sultai midrange was like the mid-range value 1-for-1 interaction deck in Standard last season. I haven't seen a lot of it this season, but I don't know if that's because people are bored of it because it's basically been around for 6 months already, or if because it's not good enough. The first big tournament after rotations are going to be happening this weekend because, remember, even though we've been playing with War of the Spark cards for almost a week now on Magic Arena, they don't release in paper officially for tournaments until Friday. So if you're interested in like knowing what's potentially doing well in tournaments, you're gonna want to keep your eye on Star City games this weekend for sure. So, like, it's interesting. Like, the Moto lists are, like, fun to look at. But at this point, the people that are, like, focusing on playing really competitively Standard online, they're mostly playing Arena. So a lot of the people playing Standard on Moto at this point are people that can't afford to play Standard on Arena, basically. Like, they're probably mostly folks that, like, because Standard is dirt cheap on Moto because Moto is Moto. And, you know, you don't have, like, the ladder and stuff to qualify on there. Gobs is Red Black Goblins. We've been streaming for a really long time today. So when I initially updated the title this morning, I didn't have the character space to include goblins in the title. Gosh, we might lose our Chromatic Lanterns here. We might see them crank this to 3 and then blow it up next turn. Bant or Celestia. Sorry, Gaming. I saw your comment that I meant to respond. I'm not, and this is, so, in previous seasons, Bant felt like it had 2 problems historically in the Standard format since rotation happened last fall. The aggressive Bant shells aren't aggressive enough to really get under mid-range and control decks, and the mid-range Bant decks don't have good enough removal to play through the other mid-range decks in the format. So it really feels like Bant kind of gets a bad squeeze in like 2 different directions, essentially. Yeah, I agree, Hickahuck. The fact that like we've been playing with the cards on Arena for a week and a half, and then it's like, oh, there's finally a paper tournament is weird. I'm not complaining, but it definitely feels it's a big change in what it has been historically speaking, as someone who's played Magic for a really long time. All right, if we hit a Planeswalker inside of this window here, like a Teferi or a Nicol Bolas, we could potentially pull ahead in this game still. Are there non-land cards in this deck list? Yeah, Chromatic Lantern. Magical Cow. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The enchantment removal is removal that I would classify as leaves a bit to be desired, Mr. Panda Gaming, because there's so many Mortifies and Assassin's Trophies and Planeswalkers that kill random enchantments in this format that, like, counting on those types of effects to, like, stay in play generally is not where you want to be in life in this format, in my experience. Alright, let's try this. Mono white is starting to even run Demystify on the sideboard. Yeah, because you gotta beat up on the Reclamation decks, right? Sure. I have all my colors. I have my beautiful sleeves. Does anyone put a Bant Proliferate deck in the queue? I don't think so. You can double check the queue on my website. There's like 40 or 50 decks in there at any given point, so sometimes I blur and lose track of what's been added and what's not. How's this deck feeling so far? Surprisingly reasonable. A lot of these Planeswalker Mush decks, when I was looking at them on paper, I was kind of just expecting them to fall on their faces. And like the blue-black Artifact Friends deck that we ended up putting up on my website and the Esper Planeswalker deck, like both of those, like this, it's like, well, a couple of pieces of spot removal and then a bunch of walkers to kind of tie the room together really feels pretty reasonable in this format. Alright, turn 4 Teferi on the play. Not bad. .jpg. Do I want to tuck this in? I kind of think I do. So, like, Teferi's tuck isn't a permanent answer to something, obviously, but what it is it still makes them redraw the card, so it's still a 1-for-1, because they're going to have to spend a card redrawing that later. So, even if they Contempt Teferi here, I still get a 2-for-1. Ugin. Ugin is quite excellent. So as a heads up, I never say yes or no to I will or won't play something that's just an archetype name in chat. So submitting the form on my website is the way to ask, will you play this? Helps me stay organized and not accidentally accept something that ends up being a dumpster fire. If I accept something that ends up being a dumpster fire, I want to make sure I accept it on purpose, okay? Maybe I'm supposed to do this first so I could surveil. Definitely would have been that land. Can I have a negate here so it doesn't matter? Sure. I genuinely don't know, Bob. It's a really complex question for, like, what does this format look like that has, you know, 12 or 16 sets in it. Like, that's a lot of Magic cards. Thanks, Random Login. I'm not necessarily the best streamer on Twitch, but I am almost certainly one of the most organized.
This isn't a fight you can win.
I just want to draw a card here anyway, so might as well bounce the thing. We do have a lot of mana sources in this deck, and that's, if you notice, in the games we've been playing, I have been able to cast my 4-color spells pretty consistently, and the reason for that is because I'm playing so many mana sources.
No time for a break.
No time for a break. And that's why one of the things I talked about earlier, and I don't want to do this now midstream because calculating 4-color mana base is something I really like to take my time with, is that we didn't play an Arcbow deck, Tom. Are you thinking of a different Magic card? It's possible that we could be an Esper Splash Bolas deck without Chromatic Lantern, just like off of Interplanar Beacon. Alright, I have a Teferi Emblem.
Well,
Let's hope that's good enough.
don't worry. I got this.
it does, in a way, with some of the cards they put up, kind of feel like they're forecasting, like, putting those cards into the new non-rotating format. Bulls, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I like that they're going to try and play through the Teferi Emblem. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
I agree, Shuffler Truther. I think just from a return on investment standpoint, they're going to include all those sets in the new format just because they want the money. As a brewer and someone who wants to work on new things, I would like them to be in the format, but I think just from a pure business standpoint, it doesn't make sense for them not to include the sets they already have coded.
We will meet again.
We could cast Hydroid Crisis, you're not wrong.
It's only a matter of time.
I'm just gonna cast this. You just do flashback drafts, Shuffler Truther. You just do flashback drafts.
Let me know if you're up for round.
You give people the option of getting cards by playing limited. It's super simple. You can spend your wild cards that you get from opening standard packs on old sets. If they wanted to go extra crazy, they could even give a discount on boosters from the older set, but I don't expect them to do that. I don't think that's going to be something that will happen.
In exchange for eternal servant, another time Planeswalk witness a motive.
Oh, geez, that triggers the Teferi emblem too.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
All right. Oh yeah, that's the point where you can't win anymore. You were definitely in that game up until the point where I cast the Oath of Teferi. Definitely still in that game up until there. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. I mean, all Magic players think getting things for cheaper would be a good idea. I think they'd probably release them at the normal price and see how it goes first. That's the smart idea. And the other thing, here's another thing that I think a lot of people don't consider enough of the time. When the new non-rotating format happens on Magic Arena, they don't want the focus of Arena to be the new format. Standard creates repeat customers. So by making the new format daunting or somewhat expensive to get into, it makes Standard more appealing because it's easier to get into. And at the end of the day, that's what Standard should be. It should be the appealing new player format. You've got my Teferi's, friendo. Yep, they exist to create consumer confidence. Do you think every Esper player is as gleeful in Garbage Time as you? Because I certainly do. But when I watch you in Garbage Time, it makes me happy too. Yeah. Yeah, Garbage Time is wonderful. I mean, normally I'm not super invested in random ladder matches, but nothing makes me want to win the game more than getting Unmoored Ego, because I feel like when I get Unmoored Ego and I suddenly have something to prove, it's just like, well, this game didn't matter a second ago, but now I gotta strap up and let this person know that Unmoored Ego is an unplayable card they shouldn't have in their deck. So, nah, I'm just gonna fire this. I'm gonna say maybe I should hold this until I draw a threat, but playing this proactively digs me to a threat, which is appealing. Although they have mana up here, so we could just be running into their sabotage, which sets up their draw. Man, it's crazy how much a day makes. I was just like, could not get through yesterday, and today we've been up for like 9 hours, and I'm like, let's go. Let's play some Redback Goblins. Maybe we'll play another match after that one. Just like super, super on and into it. It's been clipping and all. I need a deck to play for tomorrow. What should I play? What decks do you like playing? Oh, so smart and thin. So smart and thin. It's a little unfortunate that they have the Vraska's Contempt here. Conceivable. But we mostly just have to play through the Contempt more than anything. So just hoping to like rip another Planeswalker here. Got a couple more Nicol Bolas in the deck. Got Eldritch Reborn. Have Ugins, etc. I think I'm supposed to hold on to this. Nah, I'm just gonna jam it. This gets me a Nicol Bolas back down the line. Like, they're getting Kefnit back in 2 turns, but I think I just want to do this ASAP. It gets a card out of their hand this next turn. It's like, don't want to like have this mystery card be like a negate or a duress or a thought erasure and like end up taking my threat away. This is still going to be a 2-for-1 even without taking away their Kefnet. Look at that. It was a duress. It was a duress. Perfect. Wow. What is their other card? It's better than that, huh? What does better than that look like? They could just have, it's probably like Vraska's Contempt for my Planeswalker here. I bet it's a Vraska's Contempt. Like an Eldritch Reborn. Okay, that makes sense. I would like another Planeswalker, please. Please, Poppy Nick. Rude.
Defiance is infuriating. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
It's kind of funny that, like, we're at parity here and we've drawn, like, twice as many lands as they have. So what biggity bombs do we have left? We have, ooh, we are super dead. So we're dead. I think we've died. Yikes. We were keeping up there for a little bit.
Manipulation.
Then there was Thief of Sanity. That is a Planeswalker bomb, right? Ask and you shall receive. Yeah, that was probably the best draw on their deck. We did actually pull off the combo, Tom. All right, hit 3 more lands because we've been flooding. No, stop it. Don't think about choosing between 2 good spells. Just take a land. All right, this other card can't be that good, right? Unless they just had lag, because Scorn isn't really a decision.
this through.
I'm gonna take one more draw step and an answer for the thief before we pack it in. Yeah, desparking like artifacts and enchantments feels weird from a flavor standpoint. Alright, this is better than a Teferi. Alright. Oh, Thief of Sanity. You so relatable to Phage the Untouchable. Alright, so four color friends. As always, the key in life to not being disappointed by something is having low expectations when you go into it. I've been consistently impressed by just Planeswalker mush plus some amount of interaction. Has been very reasonable with some consistency. My big takeaway from playing this deck is trying to splash Bolas God Dragon into an Esper Shell might actually be somewhat reasonable. I think you might be able to do it without Chromatic Lantern just by playing, like, the Beacon plus, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 red sources is probably not unreasonable. It's something you could make happen in a 26 land mana base, I think. This deck was just kind of cute. A focus with Nick plus Oath of Teferi was the build around, which we did. We got to combo with Jace the Cunning Castaway one time, so that was a good time. Teferi the Time Ravel continues to be very, very reasonable. We are going to